Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
What's up? It's the Iceman.
And happy 2025. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Oh my goodness. We started this in 2018 and now it's 2025. That's seven years.
Wow.
Almost 7
Really
years
wild.
of this podcast.
Thanks to all of you. It's still here.
7 years in March. Yeah. Thanks to all of you. And if you want to help the show out even further, you could go to patreon.com/sticky, STIKKI. It's super cheap. It's $5. It helps Mark stay with us.
That's right.
Mark does
Cold
everything. And he's cold. It's wintertime now.
Yep.
He needs more blankets. So check out that. You get a bunch of different stuff. You get the show a day early. You get Steve does Crypto Corner every week.
Every Tuesday.
Crypto's popping right now.
Yes, sir.
We do a live sticky stream once a month with a free roll poker tournament. Cash prizes for everybody. Everyone that wins. So it's a fun time over there and cool Discord community.
Yes.
And anyway, I just wanted to talk about, speaking of it being the beginning of the year, just like last year was crazy, man. And I wanted to just maybe recap some of the highlights and what we learned, what we liked, what we didn't like, and what we want out of 2025.
Love it.
What's up with you?
Well, let's start with you.
Start with me.
Yeah.
All right. So much stuff happened last year for me. I feel like that's been the trend ever since we moved to Vegas. Just a whirlwind of new things happening all the time. But I did a little list here because so many things. One, I traveled a lot, way more than I think any other year I've been on the planet. Not just domestically, but also internationally. I went to Canada twice. I went to Montreal and I went to Toronto, once for poker, once for the Beast Games. And then I went to London and I feel like we went out of country on the cruise. We went on a cruise to Bimini and Cayman Islands, and that was really cool. That was all because of poker. Yep. So almost everywhere I traveled to this year, pretty much almost everywhere except for one place, was for poker.
Anytime I can go to the Bahamas, I'm a yes.
Yeah, 100%. I hope we get to go again this year because that would be sick. Actually, that's not true because I got offered a trip to the Bahamas last month.
Well, you would have had to work the whole time.
And I would have had to work the whole time. Yeah, so it's not
not
technically any time I'm offered.
True.
Because even though I had to work on the cruise, it was a different type of work where I would have lots of time in between, right? But the Bahamas, I'd be working the whole time. So, yeah. Anyway, so traveled a lot. I learned, I guess, that I don't like traveling.
Yeah.
I really don't.
We knew that.
I knew that.
We knew that.
But I thought it might be cool to travel for poker.
Yeah.
I thought, when you started stand-up, did you ever think I want to go on tour?
Honestly, I hate traveling too.
Yeah.
I always dreaded that part of it.
I think back then, because I hadn't traveled,
I
thought that was kind of exciting.
Got it.
And even though people had bad stories, it's just dusty ass hotels and stuff, the thought of traveling when you're younger is so much more exciting because you haven't seen a lot of places. You haven't slept in other beds that weren't at your home in your city,
That's true. But even we're doing Tuber Scum stuff, when we're going to Playlist Live or whatever.
Yeah.
I just remember I always hated the travel part, never got on with it.
See, I didn't.
Okay.
I used to love the thought of going on a plane because it was such a rare occurrence for me. I only maybe got on a plane a handful of times in my childhood.
Same.
Yeah. And so, but it was so exciting.
It was exciting. But when you're a kid, it's exciting because the parents handle everything. When you're an adult, you're in charge of absolutely every facet of your travel.
I mean, I handle it when we travel.
What do you handle?
All the travel stuff.
No, I'm talking about you have to keep track of your bags and where all your stuff is.
Yeah.
And that's on me when we travel. That's all on me.
That is on you.
You will lose everything.
That's true. Well, I've traveled a lot alone.
Well, but it's terrifying to me when you're alone.
It is terrifying, but I've kept everything.
So far, so good.
Pretty sick.
So far, so good.
In fact, right after this recording session, I'm getting on a plane to Atlantic City. Today's the 3rd of January. So we're 3 days into the year, and immediately I'm going on a plane again, which is insane.
And, you have to admit, having been spoiled for many years traveling with your husband, traveling husbandless.
Yes, it sucks. Yeah. It blows.
There it is.
Absolutely blows. I'm not going to, that's why I started off by saying I really don't like traveling. I usually like being at the place once we get there.
Yeah, of course.
But this year, because it was all for work and poker, but it was I was there for poker, but I had to work to play poker. I was doing content creation and media coverage.
Yeah.
but also playing poker. And because of the balance that there wasn't really a rest period in there, there was no like relaxation part of the travel, which usually when you travel to go on vacation, there's
you at least get that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that this year, like if and when I do travel, I mean, I am traveling currently, I make a conscious effort to like carve out relaxation parts.
You should schedule it for yourself because it's the only way you'll ever do it.
The one trip I liked a lot, and because I did this, was Tulsa, and I ended up winning a tournament there. But I made sure to have a routine. Once I got there, I was like, okay, we have to do something different this time because I've been miserable every time I've traveled. And so I would get up early, get my coffee, and then go straight to the gym. And I was in the gym every morning. And then I would take a shower, and then I would go play poker and create content.
Nice.
And I ended up winning a tournament there. But it was like I needed that balance.
You're mentally good.
I think that was a big part of what I had to learn from this was that like I need the balance of being aware that I need that balance, and two, creating a routine or a method to have that balance. So as each trip I've gotten better at traveling. Like each trip I've gotten more organized in the way that I pack my suitcase, and I've gotten more like I have a system once I get there. So at the hotel, I unpack everything and put it in the drawers and put it in the closet.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Like I live there. Now I am.
Wow.
Because I need to feel like I can establish a routine and that things aren't just everywhere in chaos.
That is true. You did that in London, and I did notice that.
Yeah, and it's so much smoother in my brain.
Right.
Because then it feels more like, all right, I live here for a week, not I might leave at any second and I don't know where my stuff is and they're all jumbled together in a suitcase.
Fair.
You know? And so that part really helps my brain. And then having that balance of like, all right, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., we're just doing reading, journaling, working out, meditating, you know, all the personal stuff.
Yep.
Get out of the way, block of time, just like I do at home. But like, I just didn't do that traveling because I was so stressed out from traveling and trying to adjust to a new time zone that, yeah. It was a lot of stress, but I learned a lot about how I travel best now.
Yeah.
So that's
you
good.
Optimized it.
Yeah, I optimized it. And I think I would take fewer travel opportunities this year, but now I kind of know the poker stops that I like the best. So I would say yes to those and then just no to the other ones.
Which ones are the no's?
I can't list all the no's.
I know you can't. I just thought
like,
it was,
I'm basically whittling it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out where Nikki goes this year, and then you'll go, oh, well, the other one's probably not.
Well, how do you know I didn't get invited to that? You know,
nice.
Didn't get invited.
Nice.
So when I travel a lot, I won my first trophy. That was a big one for me.
That was huge for you.
That happened in January of last year. It was a year ago, and it was so funny because it was right after I set my New Year's goals, and I was like, what's the one thing that I want to happen this year that's like, if just that thing happened, I'd be pretty okay with it. Like that'd be pretty sick. And it was winning a trophy, and I wrote it down. And then I was like, as we got to like the third week of January, I was like, you know what? I don't even play trophy events. Like, how am I going to win a trophy if I don't even play trophy events? I've been like hating on tournaments. When I do play a tournament, it's some like, you know, low buy-in Orleans tournament. It's not like a trophy event.
Yeah.
So then that day I saw that the Win had a trophy series going on, and there was like the last one of the entire series that day. So I went to the Win, and then I just won.
It's crazy this was a year ago. It feels like forever ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it was the end of January, but still, it was January of 2024. Yeah, it feels like forever ago. So then I was like, oh, shit, well, what now? So that was like my big one where I was the whole year I thought I was going to be like, when's it going to be me? When am I going to get my trophy?
Makes sense.
But yeah, it just happened right away. And then I won a ring, and then I won a coin, like trophy type things.
Yeah.
So it was funny that it took 37 years and then just all at once. But I didn't really put my mind to it before, you know?
You barely put your mind to it this year, too.
That's true.
I mean, come on.
That's true.
You literally realized that you didn't do trophy events, and then you're like, I'll just do one, my bad. But you're like that.
It sounds like the theme of last year then was just like, oh, this thing's bothering me. Oh, what if I fix this part?
That's right.
You know?
I think that's true.
And I think like last year was really, truly like a learning experience of like, just every time something frustrating came up, it was like, oh, well, here's a solution. And then
Did it do anything for you though? I have to ask. Like, so you won that trophy.
Yeah.
It's a great trophy, by the way. One of the better ones. I think the Wynn ones are always cool because they're shaped like the Wynn Hotel.
Yeah. No, it's one of my favorite.
After winning though, like, are you like, yes, I did this? Or are you like, is something else clawing at you after?
Something's always clawing, and I think that's how it should be because a couple of years ago, I was actually going to bring this up, but like a couple of years ago, after I won that 6 figures at the WSOP, when it had only been like 2 months, where like
of tournament play,
where I thought like it was going to build to that, it like altered my state of mind because now I felt like I didn't have the drive. I didn't know what else I wanted. I didn't have a list of things. It was just like that thing. So I was like, I mean, I wanted to win a bracelet, but like there wasn't like a huge drive anymore, you know? And it bummed me out. I hated feeling
that's what happened to me when I sold the Internet Famous and then I starred in it. I was like, that's all I ever want to do is sell and star in a movie. That was it. So like that, it was like a weird, like sad time afterward where it's like,
where
I did
was
that.
Like, I want for naught, which is great because to want for naught, like you're very satisfied with your life.
Exactly.
But also like, I feel like I'm just the type of person that always needs to be curious, working on something, like figuring something out. Like, you know, as stressful as it is sometimes, I really need that to drive my life. Yeah. And there was like maybe a whole year where I was just like, I don't know what to do now. Like I was just like, I don't know, what's it called? Wandering. I was just wondering.
Yeah, you were.
So even though I won,
listless.
When I won this trophy, there was still a whole bunch of things I wanted to do. So it felt different. And like, even though I want to win more trophies, I do think that it lifted that yearning, that like feeling not good enough.
Right.
Because I actually had talked to my therapist about this before, that I simultaneously can be aware how silly it is to want this like physical, tangible object that represents a victory. Yeah. Even though I've had many victories, quote unquote, there wasn't like an object that was like, you won.
Yes. You know? And you've always had imposter syndrome in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like insane.
Especially when like our career path doesn't have a degree attached to it.
Yeah.
You know, social media wasn't even around. This was not a career. This was not a job. So I don't have a degree attached to it. I don't have a license. I don't have like a qualifying thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it did feel good to have that under my belt, just to not have it. It was like joining SAG.
Sure.
You know,
that's
for
true.
a long time.
That used
like,
to be the barometer.
Yeah. Like I wanted to join SAG. Yeah. You gotta join SAG. You gotta join SAG. And it's so hard to get it. Like it's so hard, but a lot of people around you are doing it.
Yeah.
So like how hard can it be if like everybody's doing it? And like the more people that get it and you don't get it, you're like, what's wrong with me? You know?
Dude, I'll never forget a couple years back. Like just a quick story. Like our buddy Sam Macaroni is doing this movie.
I was in it.
I know exactly. And he's like, hey dude, can you be in my movie? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then he hits me up the next day. He's like, hey, you're not in SAG. And this is something that I used to like be like when I was like coming up in Hollywood, all this stuff, like do like grinding improv stuff. It's like, man, you could get in SAG if you do this, that, this, that. But
it's a big deal.
Yeah, big deal. But then Sam's like, hey, can you come be in my movie? We're not really going to pay you much, but we just come be in my movie. But also he's like, you need to join SAG. I'm like, I'm chilling, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Well, because it's like $2,500 to join SAG.
Yeah, exactly.
So first you have to qualify to join. So that was like the big thing is like, that was the barrier was you had to qualify.
But then if you're having in like that, they're like, we'll just get you into SAG tomorrow. Just go here, pay the fee and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really going to get paid to be in this movie, and I don't want to join SAG.
Yeah.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's just funny how your life switches around like that, and you don't even think about that.
Well, and I mean, the culture changed, you know, like where there's more of an emphasis on content creation and like being your own brand, which it was kind of like shunned back then.
Yes.
You know, it was kind of a stigma attached to like,
it was completely a stigma. It was the worst stigma ever.
YouTube videos?
Oh, hey, are you going to, should we subscribe to your channel? Like it was made fun of in every circle that I was ever in. And now 100%. Literally every celebrity has said now, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Even businesses.
Every single one.
Every person. Yeah.
But they were all so cynical and so much smarter than us back then. They all knew better.
I mean, and now people aren't really watching a lot of Hollywood movies. There just aren't a lot of like big blockbusters being made. So the whole culture shifted to more
short form content.
Yeah.
Tubers,
different platforms, social media platform, content creation. So we kind of like just were at the right place at the right time in that sense. But yeah, so the trophy felt like that, where it was like not having it felt bad. So like now that got crossed off my bucket list. And of course it was just like, it wasn't even a big win, right? Like I won a 6-figure score 2 years ago, but this win I won like $10,000.
Yeah.
But it felt like the world because I won a trophy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, legit.
So that was pretty cool. That was like a huge one that had always been plaguing me.
It was good for your gambling problem too.
It was great for my gambling problem, for sure. I got back into regular content creation this year, which feels weird that it was just last year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now that I'm back in the saddle, like it feels like I've nothing.
But you're kind of
stopped.
hardcore back in the saddle now. Like
I am.
You're posting all the time now.
Yeah, and I even have a whole content creation calendar right now of like not just stuff I'm doing for companies. So the past couple of years I've been working for companies, but now restarting my YouTube channels, especially the vlog channel.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this channel. This channel, I think so far I'm just keeping it podcast, but the vlog channel, restarting that, and then short form, I've just gone nuts. Like short form and doing more like personal short form content, I think are like the focus for this year.
Defo.
But I've also considered, and I don't want to add a ton to my plate, but I was thinking that I might want to start a new channel. Because
unconstrained by all the bullshit that happened in your old channel.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think
because
that's right.
with this channel, it looks impressive to people, to companies, that it's like, oh, you got more than 500,000 subscribers, right? Because like people are still kind of stuck in that subscriber thing.
Mindset.
But you can have like a smaller channel of like 10,000 subscribers that gets way more views.
That's true.
And it's more of an audience that's catered to your niche. So instead of plaguing my current subscribers with like content from it's like a niche that it's a very, very niche content.
Poker that they never
it's
signed
not
up
what
for.
they signed up for
Ever.
at all.
Yeah.
Instead of like giving that to them and then the algorithm's like, oh, no one wants to click on your video, this must not be good content,
Yeah.
I'd rather start a new channel that's just that niche. And I hear that this year is the best year to do that if you were going to start a new channel. For all of you out there that have been considering starting a YouTube channel, because TikTok's going away.
Right.
All the other platforms, including YouTube, I don't know if you've seen this in your feed, but it's been promoting a lot of smaller channels. Like in my feed. I've
been seeing it nonstop.
Nonstop, right?
Nonstop.
So, which is great for smaller creators, new channels. And if you had ever been considering it, like a lot of people just felt like, what's the point of starting one? It's so hard to get discovered.
It used to be.
100%.
1,000%.
But now I don't know what they changed in the algorithm, and I don't know who they're like picking to be featured. But I think that if I was to start a new YouTube channel that's very niche, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah. Love it.
So I've been considering that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it'll be like your poker content stuff.
Yeah. Like, cause I've been doing a lot of comedy poker stuff, it's kind of funny how all that worked. It feels like just an amalgamation of all the skills that I've like created or built over the past couple of years, like all coming together.
Would you keep posting vlogs to /Nikki?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you'd do poker focused content on the new. Got it.
Because so I was gonna do like poker vlogs on the vlog channel and just do like a thumbnail border that like showed it's a poker vlog.
Yeah.
In case you didn't want to watch it, like, hey, like it's a poker vlog. So there's that and it separates it.
Yeah.
But I think keeping it all to one poker channel would be better. And then keeping Nikki just like life stuff.
By the way, what an OG that you have youtube.com/Nikki.
I know, isn't that sick?
It's insane.
That's my biggest flex, I think.
It's a huge flex.
Even though it's not like a huge channel.
Of all the names in the world though, youtube.com/Nikki, it's not exactly like a ridiculous name.
Yeah.
Your name's not like Amethyst or some shit.
Right. It's like I have youtube.com/Nikki.
Nikki, yeah.
My friend, one of my poker friends loves to tell people that like she's such an OG. She's got youtube.com/Nikki.
Yeah, you're legit. I remember when Maker got that for me.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just it sat there for a while. It's gone through iterations of sitting there for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always come back to it, and it's my favorite channel.
Yeah.
I feel the most free on that channel.
Is your second favorite channel Steve Green Comedy?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude, I knew it.
He hasn't posted in a while, but it used to be
he
one of my
actually
favorites.
posts every week if you're part of Crypto Corner, but it's okay. It's okay. I've actually been the most consistent on my channel than I ever was in my life because I've been doing Crypto Corner for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's so strange too is like I feel like I pivoted into a completely different industry, but it has the same pattern. Like it has the same cycle where I feel like where 2014, 15 YouTube was.
Yeah.
In the poker world.
You're not wrong.
Like even it going
exactly
back to
like
sketches.
Yeah.
You know, because sketches kind of died on YouTube because it favored long form content, and it's not funny to do a sketch for 15 minutes.
No.
So like sketches fell out
Tell
of
it to
YouTube.
SNL, brother.
True. And well, the way that YouTube's monetization is structured, you get monetized after like 7 minutes or something.
Yeah.
So doing a sketch that's 7 minutes long is just really bad, not good. So people just stopped doing sketches and they started doing more personality content. But now with like shorts and vertical content and all these platforms pushing like short form content, people have really gotten back into sketches and they're really funny. Like I've found like some bangers. Yeah.
I've also seen some not bangers, some swings
That's
and
gonna happen.
miss-ahs.
That's gonna happen.
But I will say, I'm happy to just see it back.
Right. Exactly.
Because it was like,
it was dead for a while.
it was dead and to a point where people would advise you not to even start a sketch channel because it's that dead.
It's that dead. You're just not going to make
You're not going to monetize
any money. So like,
right. So you're just
you have to
dumping
bank
funds.
on sponsors,
Right.
but then sponsors also make a sketch not funny.
Oh, immediately.
So yeah, it's like really hard to integrate brands or anything. So yeah, it makes sense, but
Sponsors like, hey, in the first 30 seconds, can you guys mention ExpressVPN?
yeah, exactly.
Like during your sketch. It's
Exactly.
like, come on, dude. But yeah.
So it's fun to have a middle ground. So this year, last year, 2024, I signed with a big poker company who pays me to do, like they sponsor me to
Yes.
do comedy sketches about poker.
Exactly.
Which is like,
It's dope.
boom, huge fit, like just perfect fit.
Yep.
Right. And then because of that extra push where they're like sponsoring me, it made me use my brain like that again, where I hadn't turned on that like sketch brain
Well,
in
you have to be
a long
pushed
time. I do have to be pushed.
into all things.
And even being pushed, I wait till the last minute.
Yes, she does.
Because I have just all this self-doubt, like just crippling self-doubt. Like, what if I don't know what I'm doing anymore? Like, all of a sudden, I just think I don't know what I'm doing. After I upload, people like it, and I'm like, yay, people like it. And then I immediately think I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no
I thought
idea.
you lost it. You
Like,
lost
yeah,
it.
I'm like, I don't know how I pulled that off, but I guess that was good.
But
Now,
pressure works on you. It
Yeah.
doesn't work on everybody. Some people crumble under it, but it works on you.
I have such a fear of disappointing people.
Exactly.
Especially if a company has like believed in me enough to like sponsor me.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's been really fun because this specific company, they don't care what format I do. They're not like, you have to stick to this exact format. You have to do these bullet points. Like they're just like, make funny stuff.
Yes.
So I've been able to experiment with all kinds of different formats that I never experimented on, even on my own YouTube channel before. And it's been so fun and creatively fulfilling.
Yeah.
Like I've just been doing, the past two were green screen videos where I inserted myself into popular movies, but made my character talk about poker and like
you're
bother
not just
everybody.
talking about, you're bothering people with your bad beat stories.
Bothering people with my bad beat stories.
Which is like maybe the truest thing if you ever know anybody in poker, and mostly I just know my wife and then my buddy Chris Mormon. But like, it's so true.
Yeah.
It's just so damn
So
true.
I put myself in Bad Santa where I'm just like bothering him about a hand that I played and he has to listen to me because he's like Santa. And then the one I did recently was a New Year's sketch in Boogie Nights, the one where the guy shoots himself because he
shoots himself big time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made him shoot himself because he was listening to my bad beat story.
Yeah.
Instead of because his
Yeah.
wife was cheating on him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been fun.
You
like
ruined the art.
Sorry.
You know, because that movie is a beautiful movie. You ruined.
Oh yeah, that's what
the
I've
art
been
of
doing.
that
I've just
film.
been ruining art.
Exactly, ruining art.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's fun.
You're those people throwing cans of tomato soup on art
Yeah.
pictures
But
to make your point.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, and so I've been doing that. A lot of old school YouTube formats that just haven't been done in the poker niche.
Yes.
You know, that it's so funny to like use stuff from way back then
The
that
styles, yeah.
used to be a very popular style, but like people haven't seen it yet
Yeah,
because it
it's
fell
really
out of
funny.
fashion, and it's just like, it seems like new. Seems like I just
It's
invented
like when Vines were coming up and they're doing Richard Pryor bits. Every single person was doing Richard Pryor bits
Mm-hmm.
that everyone had seen a million times if you ever knew about Richard Pryor. But if you didn't, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I guess white people are kind of like that.
Yeah. So I'm really happy that 2024 pushed me into doing more content creation with a bunch of different companies. Like I got to work with a lot of different poker companies, which I'm super thankful for. And I kind of just like, when I was going through that weird period where I just didn't know what to do, I prayed and I was like, look, I'm not afraid of hard work. I just need clarity. I just need to know where to go.
By the way, that weird period was like for a stretch.
It was a stretch. I thought it was never going to end.
I know. It felt like it for a sec. I knew you'd get out of it, but it felt like it for a sec.
I had never gone through it that long before. Yeah.
This is after her big poker win. She went like, I don't know, a year and a half probably without direction.
I started a podcast in between there, but even starting the podcast, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'm doing.
No, exactly. But I don't think people know that because people just look at, oh, well, she just won like this huge poker thing. And like, it's just all looking up for Limo. Like, I think those were some of the darkest times that I've ever seen you have.
Yeah.
Ever.
It was weird because I've dealt with depression all my life.
Yeah.
But this was more of I wasn't sad. I was just like, I felt like I felt dissociated.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't have a thing I wanted really bad.
Yeah, you had no base.
No base and no
support.
like usually all my life it's been like, okay, I really want to get on a TV show or whatever. And so I have like this one thing that I'm like
driving for.
Yes. And then every little goal is like set up, the little goals are set up to reach the big goal. I didn't have that. I was just like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Win money at poker? I mean, like, okay.
Well, that's...
And then I was like, do I go back to my YouTube channel? But I'm like, I don't really have a passion for the formats I was doing before. And also just like this channel getting demonetized really fucked me up like years ago. And it's been really hard every time I think about putting content on this channel besides this podcast. But like actually making videos again.
I get it.
It really feels like it's all going to get taken away again.
They can rug you anytime.
Yeah, because it happens several times.
Happened a bunch. Happened
several
to me
times.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never, knock on wood, never happened on my vlog channel. But
yeah, knock on wood.
But my vlog channel never got that big.
Yeah.
You know, this channel got big where I was really like used to a certain standard and then just rug pulled.
Yep.
So yeah, it felt weird to try to go back to this during that period of time. And I just didn't know. So I was saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, eventually.
Which is, by the way, the starvation mindset that is what got you onto YouTube in the first place.
Exactly. Well, and also I was just like, if I say yes to everything, I'll find the thing.
Yep.
Like maybe I'll find like the path, like, and it'll become clear. And so that's what happened. Eventually, I got a little taste. It was like I was at a buffet, and I got a little taste of every type of work in this industry has to offer, and like where I could fit in, where I can offer skills, where I can offer value. And then now I'm like, all right, I can say no to a lot of things now. Yes. Like I have very specific things that I know I like, that I know the rate that I like to work for them for, and I know the companies I'd like to work for, and I know like the type of people I work best with.
And you know you can deliver for that rate. Like you have a confidence about it now,
right?
Which you didn't have before.
Yeah, and another thing that happened last year was the big game came out.
Yes,
which was so
Explain
cool.
That to people. They don't...
So there was a show that I filmed back in 2023. So in my mind, it was like old. Like I didn't even think about it because it hadn't come out yet, but I filmed it a long time ago. And basically there was this big show called The Big Game where they pick an amateur poker player and they give them $100,000 to play with. They don't get to keep that. They get to play high stakes poker against like poker legends like Phil Hellmuth, Daniel Negreanu, I don't know, Ivy, like Lex, I'm like all the names Jennifer Tilly, yeah, what's his name? Doyle Brunson, just like tons of like these high stakes, like badass poker players. And then whatever, they have to play 150 hands, and whatever the contestant wins over $100,000, they get to keep.
Yep.
And if they lose even $1 less than that 100,000, so let's say their stat goes to 900, I don't know, whatever. I can't do math right now. 90,900. You get it. If they lose even $1, they don't keep anything.
Yeah.
It's zero.
Yeah.
So it was a big show, and like tons of people in the poker community loved it. I loved it. I loved it even before I was like really involved.
You talked about it.
And I was like, man, I wish they had this show still, because that would be so fun to try to be on.
We used to go and walk around our neighborhood, and she would tell me that she wishes they still had this show.
I wish that I was still around. Yeah, all the time. Like I was like, I wish they had this show. There was a lot of fun poker shows back then, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
It was just, poker was a different era, and a lot of the poker world tells me about like it used to be just like crazy.
Yes.
But then this Black Friday thing happened where they banned poker everywhere. Anyway, they brought back this show.
Yes.
They brought back this show in 2023, and they were auditioning people for the contestant in Vegas, and I was promoting for the series that they were doing. A lot of people didn't know about the audition for this show, though. The way you had to get on this show, you had to win a poker tournament. And then from the people that won a poker tournament, so it was a shootout tournament, there were 20 tables, you had to win your table. And then those people got to go and interview, and you had to go through 2 rounds of interviews, and then they picked 2 people. So there were 180 people to start with, and then they picked 2 people to be on the show. And I was one of them, and I was the first one. So I was the like inaugural, like they're doing a reboot, and I'm the first person cast as the contestant to be on the show. And it was the most thrilling experience of my fucking life in poker. I swear I manifested this. Since the day that we moved to Vegas, 1000%. I was like, one day I'll be playing high stakes poker with Phil Hellmuth and Jennifer Tilly. And like, I imagined what it would feel like. I imagined the lighting, the table, everything. And we'll be playing high stakes poker. I didn't know that it wouldn't be my money. It would be like a free roll.
That's pretty sick.
But yeah, I got to play on this show. So it came out in May of 2024. We filmed in 2023. October, and it came out in May right before the World Series.
Yes.
So like a ton of people were talking about it, and it was on TV. It wasn't just like it came out on YouTube. It came out on Fox Sports. So even my non-poker friends were like sending me pictures of them being in a random bar, and I'm like playing high stakes poker on TV.
Saw you in a random
my parents, like
place,
my family members, like tons of people.
My family was saying that.
Yeah, we're just like, you walk in a bar and I'm just like playing poker on TV.
Yep.
And so that was just surreal because I knew it would be big or like it'd be a hit, but I didn't know like how big the reach would be.
Yeah.
So when that year, last summer, when I sat down at every WSOP table, people who I never in a million years would have expected knew who I was. Like old Russian dudes, you know, villainy characters, like people.
It's been hilarious.
They're like, you shouldn't have run that hand twice, you know, on the beginning. Like they're like, oh, I watched you, I was rooting for you.
More people have told me that they watched you call Helmuth's hand, and that's been the most impressive thing they've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
So many people have told me about that.
See, and if I was on JK Party, they would have been like, she cheated.
I know, there's idiots. Those people are literally mouth breathing morons.
What's crazy about it is that is like one of my favorite things to do. Like I love like deduction, deductive reasoning,
fitting puzzle pieces together,
exactly, and like figuring it out. Like that's your exact hand, right? And I used to do that on JK Party with like I just would narrow things down really quickly.
With stupid games, by the way,
with no cash prizes.
There's no reason to cheat at this. We don't get anything for it. She would just like deduce things, and then people are like, she's clearly cheating. It's like, bro, you should have your keyboard taken away from you.
For years, I had to deal with that. Like people going like, I like you, but you did cheat. It's like
insane.
I didn't fucking cheat. Also, like the game's not fun if you cheat.
By the way, these games are not like geniuses are not formulating these games.
You don't get anything out of it. It's ridiculous.
The structure of the games are not formulated by geniuses in like puzzle masters or some shit. Like the idea that this is like some complicated, most stressful, complicated environment is so stupid.
Yeah.
But it makes me laugh.
Imagine, being on TV with lights on you, playing for ridiculous amounts of money.
Yep.
Like that.
And you knew his cards.
Because
you deduced it, right?
Right. And what's fun about that too is that Phil Hellmuth has this thing called white magic, where he like can soul read people.
Right.
So to do white magic on Phil Hellmuth himself was like really fun.
Sick.
That was a really fun hand. Also,
by the way, she's not saying he actually has that. She's saying that that's what he does when he deduces what your hand is.
Oh, yeah. He calls it.
But people will think, oh, I guess Nikki has soul magic.
No.
You know what I mean? It's just like.
He calls it white magic.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like.
But I know.
He just calls it that because he can make big folds where like you would never make that fold, but he just knows. He just knows. Yeah. So that was really fun. I wasn't saying that the Russian guys were hating on me. I was just like, it was funny because like they were like rooting for me, but
Well, it's like watching a sports game. We all want our team to win.
Yeah, exactly. And so that happened, which snowballed into me working with more media companies and like, I don't know, it just like everything kind of snowballed in a way that was beautiful. That was like, I don't know if I could do this. Okay, yeah, I could do it. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm really good at it. Like, So, I thought 2024 was really cool with that. Is there anything I was on Tosh for poker.
That was great.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I mean, I watched Tosh a lot growing up as a comedian.
And he was nice to you.
He was super nice. Yeah. I just like, it's just so funny doing comedy for so long and then getting featured on a comedian's thing for not comedy.
Yeah.
For poker.
Well, yeah, he was interested because our buddy Elric was like,
yes.
Hey, Nikki.
Shout out to John.
Yeah, John Elric. He's produces for him, and then he's like, hey, Nikki knows a lot about this poker scene, and Tosh found it interesting, so they brought her in.
Yeah. He gave me a bracelet that is sun-made.
That's right.
Well, actually, I won it. I won it. Yeah.
But that was cut from the show.
He gave me a tarot card reading kit. Part of his show is he gives people things that were around his house that he doesn't want.
That's great.
Just thought that was funny. Yeah, so I met a lot of new people. I don't know. I think 2024 was really stressful, really chaotic, and like really awesome. It was just like a giant whiplash thrill ride where I was figuring a lot of shit out, and I had like really fun times, but also really stressful times trying to figure shit out. And then now I feel excited going into 2025.
Yeah, good.
Which is different. Like some years, the beginning of the year, I'm like, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. You know?
No doubt.
And this year I feel more of a like, all right, I got some goals. I got like some real shit that I want to build. I feel like focused in my creative life, like the content and what I want to build like on YouTube and with Instagram and just short form content and comedy. And I don't know, I feel like it's all just kind of gelling together in a way that I never would have expected. And I really like it. And it makes me want to like get up and grind.
Love it.
Which I think is all you can ask for.
Legit.
What about you, Green?
Well, I'm going to tell you after we come back from a break, obviously. We'll be right back.
Hey, we're on a break right now, and I guess we're supposed to promo our show.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about our show.
We're going to talk about a show that you took a break from to like talk about how you should listen to our show.
Technically, we're not on break. We're still working.
It's called Shit They Don't Tell You, and it's all the shit that we wish people would have told us that we had to mess up on and figure out ourselves. Now we're telling you about it.
That's it. And
sometimes we answer questions that you send in, and sometimes we judge other people's situations.
So keep listening, and check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. Thank you.
And shout out to Brian Jorgensen.
And we are back.
Welcome back.
We're kind of just closing out the 2024 year. Mm-hmm. Thoughts about that. Thoughts about what we want to do this year.
Yeah.
2024, I think kind of like you, right? Like 2024 was kind of like one of those things where there's a grand mystery involved with what I really like to do the most. My hobby is crypto, obviously. There's a grand mystery involved with that, which is like, were we in a left translated cycle versus a right translated cycle? Just to be very quick about it, the idea of a left translated cycle is, so I'm a student of what's called the 4-year cycle. The traditional 4-year cycle is you get 3 years of up moves, you get 1 year of down moves. Oh, but shouldn't 3 years of up moves mean that everything that you're in just goes up the whole time? No. 3 years of up moves means the trend is up, right? So the trend is your friend. You follow the trend. You want to be scooping up in what's called an accumulation range of like one of your favorite projects that you really like, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to accumulate, and it's going to be boring and slow, and like that's part of the mental game of crypto is you have to be adding to your bags even up days, down days, left days, right days, whatever the fuck it is, right? You have to be adding to it because your goal is to just accumulate more of it. Well, going into 2023 or 2024, I was like, I think we're in a left translated cycle. Basically, I think once every 16 years, a left translated cycle happens where all of the big momentum happens early.
Oh.
And so you will see like huge returns quicker.
Uh-huh.
Which is what we were seeing like early in 2024.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, maybe we're in left translated cycle. Maybe we're going to be out of here by November. Well, then, by around April, I was like, I don't know if we're in a left translated cycle anymore because the way that the cycle structure was playing out was too stretchy, to put it simply.
Okay.
It was taking longer.
It wasn't like big boom.
Exactly. It was just taking longer. And it was outside of what I felt comfortable with as far as like just declaring that was going to be absolutely a left translated cycle. So I told all our people, Crypto Corner, I was like, I think we're a right translated cycle. I think we're going to snap back into the structure. Ultimately, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing if you think about it long term, because being back in the structure means that you can actually have more growth. Like it's like going to a fireworks show. Right. And there's no plan for how the fireworks are going to get lit off. They just all get lit off at the same time. That would be a left translated cycle. Right. Mm-hmm. To really zoom out and like make a big example for you. in a right translated cycle, you have a planned fireworks show and everything's supposed to go according to plan. And then by the end, it's this really beautiful and big grand finale. We're back into that, right?
I see.
And so, but that grind into, the flip from market excitement, Bitcoin ETFs into, right translated cycle, more of a boring, traditional 3-year up, 1 year down range, hyper corrected the market. Everything got pulled down, everything. And then everyone's going like, fuck, we got to wait longer. And that's kind of, it was kind of like, there's a beauty in all of this, right? Because you're always learning from this stuff. But ultimately, you go back to like why you bought in the first place. What's your bag? Why do you have it? We're buying companies. We're just buying cryptos here. So I feel great about that part of it. And now we're, again, reasons to be excited about 2025.
Yeah.
We are in the end of the run.
Yeah.
Like this will be, when I say 3-year up, 1 year down, the traditional 3rd year up is a huge move. And we're in month 26 right now of that move. And usually you want to be out of here. Usually cycles last till like month 36 as far as the up move. And then you're at month 46 for the down move. So you got to get out like within the next, 10 months. And I'm looking to get out in the next 6. So like, but being back in that structure, so far from being discouraged or worried or nervous, I'm more just like, okay, good. We're back in what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And I'm not scared about like uncertainty.
That's how I feel with content creating right now. That's so funny.
The synergy of that.
Yeah, the synergy.
Yeah.
But the feeling of being excited. I love that feeling at the top of the year because like the past,
especially when everyone's sleeping on what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
When they are just writing an offer going like, oh, I know that what he's talking about. No, that's not going to happen. I'm like, bro, I have been calling this whole damn run.
Yeah.
It's just that, again, a couple things have to happen and then you can't ignore data. You have to go, okay, well, that definitely makes sense as to why that explains that move and we have to prepare for that. But I don't know, the idea of all do I not sound passionate? Do I not sound like I'm having fun?
You always sound passionate.
You know what I mean? Like it's all this is so fun to me.
Yeah.
It's such an experience and a unique.
Well, it's so great that you found something that gives you that too.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're a very stable person.
Yeah.
That like
that's true.
You can maintain an energy that's like, unless something external happens.
True.
Right?
If it was to you or something, that would be
where
insane.
I have an internal tornado.
Yes.
That just like, I feel like when I'm happy, I feel like it's going to last forever.
Yes.
And then when I'm sad, I feel like that's going to last forever. Like it can switch on a dime for no reason.
No, you are fire.
Like there's no like external factor.
It's true.
It's just like one day I'm like really happy and then like within hours I'm like sad and I'm filled with anxiety.
The flame can flicker and it depends on the wind.
Yeah.
No, you are fire and I am the Iceman.
But I will say that my confidence level is more stable, like where the more like things that I get done, like that doesn't waver even when I'm sad. Like I can be sad and still know I can get shit done.
Yes.
Yes. Whereas like, but I just feel like the emotions, go everywhere. But one of my favorite authors, Mark Manson, who was on the podcast, by the way, back in like 2019 or something, he did The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. He talked about how happiness is actually not from acquiring things, because I know we both touched on how like once we got something big, that it actually wasn't like
once you have your hands on it, it totally changes everything.
It actually,
the journey is so much more interesting.
Happiness is not derived from acquiring like the thing. It's not from having no problems. Everyone thinks like once I solve all these problems, like I'll be happy. It's actually having problems that you can solve.
Yes.
Having problems that happen in a challenging way, but that you're able to solve them.
Yes.
You get happiness and confidence from that.
Exactly.
And I feel like 2024 gave me a lot of those, where it stretched me to a degree that was very challenging.
Yeah.
But getting over it, like figuring it out, solving it, and having like positive feedback from it gave me a lot of confidence and happiness and fulfillment. And like made me motivated to want to do more of that. And there was no big prize.
Yeah.
There's no like big thing that I'm leading up to. It's just that like, oh, I'm more curious again. I like the curiosity. I like feeling like, ooh, what happens if I do this?
Yeah.
Oh, like, oh, let's see. Oh, let's test that out. Oh, that was cool. Let's do more of that, but then add some of this in. Like, it was like an experiment.
I also have a firm belief that productive people will always take whatever obstacle you throw at them and find a way to win from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least try to.
Yeah.
Like, and nobody ever, by the way, wins at anything without losing. You have to fail at things to learn, right? Like, never let a good failure go to waste.
Also, winning doesn't feel as good if you've never lost.
That's exactly it. There's no perspective or anything like that. That's why I actually uniquely feel very bad for rich kids often because of that.
That's true.
I genuinely
Rich
do.
kid depression is real because
it's a real thing. I've seen it so many times in my life, but I was never a rich kid, so I didn't have that. But I just always liked what I liked, and I always followed my
the passion.
Interests. Yeah, the passion.
Yeah. So not having a passion or something that I was curious about learning actually made me in this weird depressive episode.
Yes.
But finding all that and getting stimulated and sometimes overstimulated by a lot of things last year.
Exactly.
Really helped me find a path where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of scared because I don't know how this is going to turn out. But I really am curious about experimenting with it. So trying all kinds of different formats and really learning short form and just new skills on top of old skills.
I love it.
Was fun. So in 2025, I want to be posting content regularly on all platforms. I got back into a grind this year and I love it. But it's like throwing mud at the wall, right? And now I kind of organized the mud into the things I want to study more or focus on more. I mentioned maybe starting a new channel. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. I want to learn mixed games in poker. So there's No Limit Hold'em is the standard that everybody, plays with poker. When you hear people playing poker, it's usually No Limit Hold'em, Texas Hold'em. Then there's PLO, which is 4 cards. And then there's mixed games, which is can be 4 cards, 5. It's there's a bunch of different game variations. Yeah. And so they have specific tournaments for these mixed games where it's just a tournament of game variations that aren't No Limit Hold'em.
Yeah.
And I've always been curious about that. It's a whole different subsect of poker that's has its own all the mixed game players know each other.
Right.
Because it's such a small group that's super into mixed games. And I've always just wanted to learn them just because I like the game so much and I want to learn all the variations and I want to be competent enough in mixed games to play a mixed game tournament bracelet event at WSOP and cash. Just to say I did.
By the way, another thing I'm really good at now that I didn't know that I was really good at is sports gambling.
Sports gambling?
Yeah, I think I cracked it. I think I figured it out.
You figured out sports gambling.
I think I figured it out. Yeah, it took me a while. I was losing all year, and then recently I won a 3-game parlay with my neighbor Ryan. And I think we figured it out now, and I think we're good to go.
That's cool. How much did you win?
We bet $50. We won $400.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So yeah, we kind of figured it out now. So now that we got it all figured out, we're gonna do bigger bets and way higher dollar.
I don't know
bets.
about that from our account.
Oh yeah. No, I'm selling. No, don't worry about it because I'm selling stuff.
Oh, I see.
That's stuff I don't need.
You selling stuff?
I'm selling stuff we don't need.
What are you selling?
I'm selling my computer.
You're selling your computer?
Yeah, I'm selling my computer chair. I don't need that either.
Oh wow.
I'm selling.
How are you gonna do crypto?
I haven't figured that out yet, but I'm going to do it.
But you're going to be a professional.
I'm selling a bunch of old camera equipment we have laying around the house.
Stop. Stupid.
Please take me seriously on that, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. I would love it. Thank you.
Yeah, you always have to clarify when I say stuff. You should clarify when you say stuff.
No, I mean, please take me seriously. I'm being actually serious. I'm opening up right now, and I would like it if people didn't laugh at me or anything. Thank you.
I won't laugh.
Thank you.
I'll be mad if you're serious.
I solved gambling, babe. And it's going to benefit your life so big.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, do I get some poker money from it?
Hell no.
All right, then that's not benefiting my life.
You get enough poker money as it is. Come on.
Speaking of that, I do want to start investing again because originally in this poker journey, I saw poker as a way to generate more cash flow to put into investments.
Right.
And then poker became the investment.
Right.
So it was this is a whole the thing in itself.
And everything else. Yeah.
Well, and also just the ROI, the quicker ROI.
Oh, no doubt.
It operates very similarly to the investment strategy I was doing with options, but with a formula. I was doing options trading, not day trading, but it was month trading. It was this whole arbitrage thing that we were doing. Anyway,
beautiful. Yeah.
But it's a very slow moving formula because it's a guaranteed profit like a 90% guarantee profit. Like you're mostly going to profit from it over
But you have to be
a huge
all over it.
sample size, but you have to be all over it. And you're just like winning small increments at a time.
That's
and
right.
so if you don't have a big bankroll to begin with, like the small increments are nothing. They're like $5, you know, $20. So I'm like risking, you know, $2,000 to win $8, $20. And so I was like, okay, with poker, I can have a smaller bankroll to start and I can risk like $200, but I can make like $1,000 immediately. And then I can just use that excess and put it into my stocks. And then I could like build my bankroll and stocks that way. So that was the plan.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Vegas and I got engulfed in the entire poker industry and I fell in love with it. And I couldn't help it. It chose me.
You were assimilated.
Fell in love with it.
Yes.
Yeah. And everything, and the way that it all worked out was exactly like YouTube, where I wasn't trying to do YouTube. I was trying to be an actor and I just fell into YouTube, and I fell into like the top, 5% of YouTube channels at the time. Yep. Yeah. It was like 2007, 2008, 9. And it was like the top channels. And I had
scum was rising
no
to the top
idea.
back
I had
then.
no idea who they were. No idea. Shut up. And now they're still some of our best friends. But same thing happened with poker, where I moved across the street from Chris Moorman and Katie, and they all introduced me to all the like poker friends, and they're like huge, like they're all like top poker players, like, and I had no idea. I just was meeting poker players.
I still have no idea.
And like you go to WSOP and like half of them are on the wall. Like half of them are in giant posters all over WSOP. And I'm like, I know everyone on the wall. Like they were at our house on Halloween. Like it's just so
Mormon will never be that for me. He's just my idiot neighbor who I crush at Mario Kart. Nothing else.
But it's so much better that way.
Yeah,
and that's that's how YouTubers were to me. Like I never thought of them as being like some famous celebrities. They were just like some kids that I met.
Actual people that we knew.
Yeah, exactly. So it felt like that to me. So I've traveled a lot last year, and this year I do want to travel on a vacation, or like either one big vacation that we do, because we haven't done one in a long time, a vocation.
Thank you.
Or a couple mini vacations, like little weekend getaways, just something that's like us.
I like it.
Because I do feel like we put our relationship on the back burner a little bit to get things progressing in other areas.
That's very true.
Which is fine, because our relationship was already super solid. So it's like, all right, it can stand being on the back burner for like a couple months.
She's talking about, we basically extracted date nights for a while because we were just we were focusing on growing things.
Because it's like we have a window for this stuff to pop off, and it's like a newborn baby. It's like we have this newborn baby and we have a kid that's fully functioning and cook all the meals himself. 100%. So like let's just focus on the newborn baby, because it needs a lot of nurturing, and like the kid can make his own lunches and go play with his friends, and like later like we'll all have family dinners again, you know. And so that's how I feel. I feel like, okay, that got established and the baby's crawling and walking and stuff. And now we can like have date nights again, and how like go on little mini vacations, and I don't have to like worry about, well, what's going to happen when I get back? Like, am I going to have stuff to work on when I get back? It feels a little bit more like we could relax into that. I want to get into mobility training.
Don't do it.
Why?
I don't even know what it means.
Oh, okay.
So don't do it.
Don't do it. Well, it's exercise.
Just kidding.
You scared me.
I don't know what that means.
I know. I thought you knew, and that, like, you were going to warn me about some shit.
It like an internet commenter would.
So we're like closing in on 40 each of us, and basically your body like 40. Stops, being able to be as flexible and mobile and stuff. But you can do like mobility training, which is it's exercise, but it's more focused on making sure your body can like move, like can bend and move.
That's a big goal.
Yeah. And so, well, no, the goal is more to integrate
the way you're describing it's funny.
Routine. It actually, like, if you look at these exercises, it's just like, it's like saying I want to do Pilates.
Love it.
Or saying I want to do like strength training. It's a type of exercise routine to like specifically target back pain and joints. That'll
and
like, stuff. Just like, so you're not stiff all the time.
Yeah.
Because like most people, as they get older, they become more sedentary, and you just get stiff because you're just not moving.
Yeah.
So I would like to not have back pain and all that stuff.
Well, that'll never happen, but
I can limit it. Like I can relieve some of it.
Exactly.
Because when I was doing hot yoga a lot, it did relieve a lot of it.
That's true.
Some mobility training, and I'm going to try not to pile 1,000 things on my plate.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Things flow to me better when I'm not stressed out to the brink. Like
okay, cool. But like literally, what? Yesterday you put too much shit on your plate?
Yeah.
So when does this goal start? It's already the
No, but
second,
I'm finding
third.
that balance where I can be stressed someday with one thing. I can't be stressed about like 5 things.
Yeah.
If I'm stressed about one thing, that's fine.
Okay, got it.
You know?
Thanks. We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah. But like, okay, for example.
I get why it's at the end of your list.
For example, I started Vlogmas last month, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was doing pretty well until like day 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And instead of freaking out and having panic attacks that like I wasn't getting Vlogmas done because I had other stuff going on, like I had to edit and film. I had to figure out what my Christmas sketch was going to be for the company I work for, and then like a whole different set of editing skills that I had to learn. Anyway, I had to put Vlogmas on the back burner, and I didn't want to. I wanted to finish the challenge.
Of course.
But old me, I think, would have stressed to try to get both of them done.
She would have killed herself to do it.
Bent over backwards, killed myself, not slept, like done a lot. And I didn't do that.
Yeah,
I just put Vlogmas on hold, and it'll come back. Like, I felt really good about how much I pushed myself during the beginning of the month, where it was stressful to do Vlogmas, but it wasn't too stressful that I was getting burnt out.
You were enjoying it enough.
I was enjoying it, right? As soon as I stopped enjoying it because the panic was taking over the enjoyment process, I needed to put it on hold so I could just focus.
I have to give you credit. You have grown.
Thank you.
That is growth for you.
Because prioritizing has always been a really hard thing for me.
It's never been a thing you were ever capable of.
I'm never good at it.
Never good at it.
Yeah.
And that's actually huge for you.
Yeah.
Because this is stuff that I used to tell her a million times. It goes in one ear out the other because she just is feeling it. She's not thinking it.
Yeah, it's true.
There's nothing you can do.
Well, and also it's really hard for me to decipher what is the higher priority.
Exactly.
Everything feels like it's all the same priority.
Credit to me. I think I helped you figure that out.
You did. You helped me be aware of it, but I still wasn't able to decipher what is the priority.
Correct.
And I think that now, even if I don't know what the priority is, I just have to pick one to be the priority.
That's funny. Well, or you come ask me.
Yeah.
Which is always hilarious.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because it does feel like everything's the priority at all times.
Exactly.
Like we just did a New Year's Eve party, and that was like really stressful because it was just like kind of last minute, and a lot of the cleaning took a lot longer than I thought it would because we cleaned our whole couch because our cat pees on everything. And that took a lot longer before I could even start decorating. And I thought I was gonna be able to like edit this video in between, and instead of trying to put that all on the same plate, I just took it off.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll figure it out.
You used to not do that at all.
But I think doing this has only been like 1 or 2 months that I've been doing this. More. Okay. But I think doing that has given me more confidence that things will just work out.
Holy shit.
You've been saying that.
For how long?
But I hadn't like integrated it to be able to know. And now like, I feel like things will work out. And if they don't, like,
that's called a breakthrough, kids.
I know. I think that's why I'm so excited going into 2025
because like out. You got a breakthrough.
I genuinely feel like it's not because I achieved some crazy thing. It's like genuinely because of this like the process breakthrough that I've had where I'm like, I can handle it.
It's so funny because outside looking in, everyone thinks you got it handled, but I'm one of the few who understands the internals.
I have it handled with 1,000 meltdowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thanks for being vulnerable as always.
Of course. Green. Thank you for listening.
Tears in your eyes right now.
I know, because it's like it was a breakthrough, and then you just saying that it was a breakthrough. I was like, it was, and it makes me happy.
You didn't even realize it.
It's joyful tears.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mark, cut all this. It makes us look vulnerable.
It makes me look weak.
And
I'm not.
We're trying to project strength.
Pointing out my weaknesses.
Mark, we're trying to project strength and virility.
Let me say something really cool and strong. Hold on. Let me think about it for a little bit.
Okay. Say something Andrew Tate would say. That's always strong.
Women ain't shit but tricks and hoes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, leave that in. That was good stuff. We'll end with that. I love that. What a message for 2025.
2025, baby. Let's go.
By the way, thanks to all of you. We're still here. We love you guys so much. Appreciate you.
What's your biggest thing? One thing. Go.
Biggest thing what?
For 2025. What do you want?
Oh, we're going to finish the job, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about finishing the job. It's all about we're going to do it again.
The blow job?
Well, you can blow me if you want.
Whoa.
Anytime you want, baby. I'll tell you that.
Look, women ain't shit but tricks and hoes.
We're going to do it again. I say it at the end of every crypto corner I've ever done. We're going to do it again. Is the whole name of the whole game. I mean, it'll look like a magic trick from here, but I can't wait to see it all play out. So,
all right.
That being said, see you guys on the next one.
We're going to Sedona this year.
We are. We're gonna have a spiritual retreat.
We're gonna have spiritual retreats, baby. We're gonna find some pyrite in the mountains.
Yep. And hopefully we're going to go there, get there, and then watch Love is Blind on...
That's one of my favorite things is like going out of the fuck our way, like just to some other country, like where there's so much shit to do, and we just watch some trash TV.
Love is Blind? Like, hell yeah, I do. Of course I do. All right, we love you guys. See you in the next one.
Okay.
Bye.
Peace.